And we're down here under 522. Figure we'll go down and see if we can find any fish down here jumping. There should be some fish moving in by now. What does this say? Oh, here you go, look at this. This river system is currently closed to give the Indians the right to rape what's left of our fisheries. Should tell the state and them to go fuck themselves. I got a funny feeling the reason why they've done this the last couple of years is because the money for the damn hatchery at the Wallace came from the tribes, or a good chunk of it did, and the agreement was most likely was, we get to fish and you don't. I'm going to call Olympia Monday or Tuesday and figure out how I can find the contract if the tribes did contribute money, and what it says in it. I'll probably have to do a Freedom of Information Act to get what I want, because I don't think they're going to tell me, and I'm sure they won't give it to me. That'll probably take quite a while to get it, because they're probably not going to be happy to give it to me. And back in the old days, we'd be able to come down here the 1st of September and target silvers. People have been down here all summer, probably swimming. Homeless fucks are probably down here living. But I'm sure there's got to be something in here rolling right now. The river came up a tiny bit. Usually means that I come down here and that pole right there, we used to have a steelhead shack there about 40 years ago. That was all grass. No trees on it or anything. I was going to go to the other side of the river, but I'm going to come down here and see if there's anything even twitching down here. Looks like, from the looks of it, there's been a lot of people down here. Probably been people down here fishing. If they're here, I know where they sit. Same place they've sat for 40 some odd years. Place hasn't changed in 40 years. They're going to sit right by that island, and then right down there where that branch hangs out. You should be able to see anything coming up the river from here. And garbage down here from the numbnuts to come down here. They brought their little rubber raft, but they couldn't take their box with them. I don't see anything twitching, but I know for a fact there's got to be fish in here. I used to come down here before there was 2 bridges, and there was only 1 bridge down here. And a smolt just jumped. I don't see anything twitching. Not like the old days. I used to stand down here and stand under the bridge, and as far upriver as you could see, and as far down river as you could see, all the way from one side to the other, it would literally look like popcorn popping. There were so many silvers in here. I mean, you come down here and be done in 10 minutes. And there was nobody down here. I have pictures of my kids standing down here back in the 80s, early 80s, and there was not a fucking soul on this river. There were no boats, no nothing. And then they built Frylands in Monroe, and a few people started showing up, nothing spectacular. And now this place turns into a clusterfuck. A lot of them, they want a big silver. Okay, there are silvers in here. One just rolled out there. I had a feeling they would be in here. Same place they always roll. That's nice. That is nice to see. There's a fish in here. If there's one, there's probably a few more with it. They don't usually come in by themselves. They come in small groups. Usually the tribe lets a few fish in the beginning in, and then they just fucking cork the shit out of the front of this thing. But that was a good sign. That was a chrome bright big fish. But I used to stand on those rocks right there in the front of that guy's house years ago, and we would catch silver after silver after silver after silver. There's a flat rock over here. Me and Mike used to stand on it. Catch fish all day long. When I could still walk on rocks. I don't like walking on them now. I'm too old. It's right there. It's been flipped over. Oh look, there's a thing of night crawlers. Gee. So much for somebody giving a fuck if the river was closed or not. I'd love to run into a game warden. I'd give him so much shit right now. Especially if it's that cute little blonde one. Yep, there's another fish. There's fish in here. Those are all silvers. They're all stacked up in the same spot. There's not a lot of them, but you know, it's not even September yet. They're not kings because the kings are way upriver. There might be a few in here, but what I'm watching, I guarantee you, are silvers. So they're not kings. But that's a good sign. There are a few in here, but like I said, tribe is usually really good about letting fish in and then corking the shit out of the rest of it. They don't want the small ones. They want those big migratory fish. But like I said, I've stood under this bridge here. That bridge, not that one. I have pictures of us down here fishing in the boat. Brett's boat. Catching fish when this bridge was still being built. There's what we used to call the pocket over there on the far side. The Snohomish River used to come in right there. I used to stand there before they put all those extra rocks and shit in there and just bang the shit out of them. It wasn't uncommon to 4 or 5 hours hook a dozen or better big silvers and a few kings once in a while. But then when the river changed, more of it all came up there and not came out down there anymore. They didn't hold them there anymore, but they used to. That used to be a killer spot to catch silvers. Hell, I've caught chums back in there when the thing was completely flooded out. Hell, this little indentation right here where that other new column is, I used to stand on Bill's property right there. That was the guy that owned that, and catch chums when the water was a foot below the embankment at 50,000 cubic feet a second. They would come up there in November and just sit there. But at least there's a few fish in here. But I came down to see.